Okay guys, let's check out Blender 4.2. Wow, now this is amazing. Unbelievable. Very nice. Nice work guys. I am blown away. My mind is blown away how brilliant this is. But look, you guys are here to learn how to install Blender 4.2. I'm going to take you right from the beginning. This is a very beginner tutorial so that you can understand what's involved in sort of going from an old version of Blender, which is Blender 4.0 to Blender 4.2. What challenges I face, you will also face along the way. So yeah, I hope you enjoy. We'll touch on the new thing, extensions. The add-ons have been changed slightly, so we'll touch on that, and hopefully we'll have fun along the way. That's it. Yeah, let's see how we do. Just enjoy this. This is a pretty nice video, though. I'll tell you, very nicely done. Great work from the Blender community. Thanks to all. Great animations here. Some superb animations. Let's begin. Okay, so basically once you turn on your Windows 11 machine, just check what requirements you need. For example, what sort of hardware that you need to run Blender. You can go to requirements and compatibilities. So you got your minimum requirements here, and recommended requirements. Essentially, you know, I'd recommend getting an NVIDIA video card because it's quite works pretty well for me with an NVIDIA video card. And if you meet the minimum specs or recommended specs, you should be able to install Blender 4.2. So you can find that all from this website. Okay, if you go to blender.org/download/requirements, that's all the requirement data. Now, after that, what I would recommend is going to the download section, and there you'll find the download for Blender 4.2. Literally click on that. It's about 300 megs depending on the internet connection. It should be fairly quick to download. So you click on that and it should download. Then you have to go to the location. Once you go to the location where you downloaded it, double click on this icon. Okay, now you'll see a setup screen for the setup wizard. So all you've got to do is click next, have a read of the agreement, which I've done previously, of course. Next. So custom setup. So basically you can go through and change the settings. I'm using default settings for the Blender 4.2. The path is okay. You can install it on another hard drive if you choose. So just follow that. So click next and then click install. So this is actually my very first time installing Blender 4.2. Oh wow, so the installation is complete. So that's the end of it. So that's the installation side done. Thank you. So now that you've finished installing Blender, you should have an icon very similar to the one you see on my screen there, which is Blender 4.2. Let's go ahead, double click on launch it. Okay, so now that you've launched Blender, you should have a similar screen to mine. My screen has import preferences for previous version because I've currently got a Blender 4.0 installed on my system, and I can bring over some preferences from the previous version. Yours won't have, may or may not have this screen depending on if you've got an old version of Blender. But if it doesn't, don't panic. Just skip past this step. Okay, if it does, I'm just going to try the import process, see how this goes. Once you click on the button, I think it takes a little while. So hopefully it will bring over the preferences without too many issues. Okay, so here we are. We're inside Blender. Looking good. Now, here's the thing. If I press N, wow, there's all my add-ons. Okay, I'm impressed. Okay, now that we're in Blender 4.2, let's do a couple of things. If you install this fresh and you didn't have a previous version, you would have not got the screen that I saw when I had to update from 4.0 to 4.2. You would have got something similar to this one. Okay, so if you're at that screen now, you can go ahead and click General. Okay, this will take you into the blend file again. Alright, so now that we're there, let's sort out our add-ons and have a quick glimpse on really what's happening with the preferences exactly. Okay, so let's looking closely at these preferences, we can see there's a thing called Get Extensions. Okay, that's new. And add-ons and themes. Okay, so so what's happened with the previous version of Blender, we used to have add-ons and we'd manage all our add-ons from here. Okay, so add-ons are basically things that make your Blender project files and its pipeline to completion a lot easier, basically. So what I mean by that is, say for example, if you can buy a product, an add-on that would do a particular task for you that takes you months, maybe years to do, you invest in that product and you save money and time in doing so yourself. Okay, so basically that's all there is to add-ons. It's just to facilitate different things, modules, so that they can plug them in and into Blender and then basically give you the ability to do certain things a lot quicker than you would normally do it yourself. Okay, so now moving forward anyway, what's happened here is extensions have changed to add-ons have changed into extensions, in the sense that now they have add-ons and themes as subcategories of Get Extensions. Okay, so the other thing to note also, you need to be online to get your add-ons. So, but I'll go through how to install the traditional add-ons, the old add-ons, and also how to install the previously I used to have a lot of default Blender add-ons which are no longer there. I can see that now they've moved over to extensions. Okay, so for example, I used to have a thing called Archimesh, which is Archimesh. I'll just put that here. And I used to have this add-on. So, and as you can see, it's saying it needs to be installed, and I no longer have it in my add-ons here. Okay, so I got ArchiPack but not Archimesh. So basically, what I need to do here is to then go and see what I need to install. So let's go and have a look at how they do the extensions. So all the default extensions are now all the default add-ons that we used to have in Blender 4 and Blender 4.1 are kind of, they've set up a site so that you can actually see what they're about, and you can actually go and install them if you choose to, etc, etc. Most of these are pretty useful depending on what work you're doing. You just have to go through and find out exactly what extension you need. So in my case, I need the Archimesh one. So let's put what is that? Okay, so Archimesh is there. So I'd click on that normally. and then go into get add-on. Okay, so when you click on get add-on, you'll get a download link. So you'd want to click on the download link, download the file, and then follow the steps to install it in Blender. Okay, so instead of going through individually and installing every different extension that I'm missing out, I'm just going to do it as one pack. Now let me show how I do this. The Blender actually Blender website, they actually got all the Blender 4.1 legacy add-ons, and they put it into one zip file, so you can just easily install it using that zip file. Okay, so if you go to this website, that's blender.org docs release notes 4.2, links in the actual description. You'll see that if you scroll down to the bottom of this, you'll have a thing called add-ons, and in add-ons there's a thing called a bundle of the add-ons that are shipped with Blender 4.1 is available for download. So click on this download link. It'll download a zip file. So just remember the location where you saved it to. Once you've downloaded that, go back into Blender. Okay, now let's go ahead and install that add-on. So let's notice we're still offline. I haven't needed to be online. All I'm going is to install from disk, and then go into the location where my add-on is, and let's install that. Now it'll take a little while to go ahead and install. But now if we go to add-ons, you can see that all of a sudden I have a lot more add-ons. So, and one of the ones I was missing was Archimesh, so let's check that out. And Archimesh is back. So now what I can do is individually go through each one and just tick the ones that I don't need. Okay, so at this stage I'm just going to keep the ticks on, and we'll go through what you require as we go along, but at this stage I'll just keep everything enabled, and then we'll start removing things after. Okay, and I'll show you some important add-ons, and maybe you can limit the list by using the important ones very shortly. So now that we've finished installing the legacy add-ons, let's go ahead and do a bit of cleaning up. So if you go ahead and go into Blender edit preferences and go into get extensions, you'll see that you're either connected to the internet or not connected. Definitely go ahead and connect. Another location where you can allow the connectors in here. But let's go ahead and allow the access to be able to get extensions. Once you've done that, we can now go ahead and sort out a couple of things. I'll basically show you the ones that I'm using, and also one that I need to get to do some work with 3stairs Max, for example. So I'll go ahead and search for Max. I can go and install this one from here, because now given it access to be able to download. So let's go ahead and install this. So you'll see that it's moved in from available to installed. Okay, so now that that's installed, if I go and search for Max here, You got the max imported there. Okay, so I would expect it to also probably be in. So let's close that. Let's go and have a look here. Import 3D Studios Max. Okay, there you go. Alright, so that's where the importer is on the file import, and you get your import options. Okay, so basically from there what we'll do to go to preferences. So now that I've installed that, you saw the process. As far as Get extension goes, these are my installed add-ons from basically the Get extensions and using this platform. Okay, so all the rest, and you'll see it's marked by an icon essentially in the add-on. So when you see that icon, you know it's from you will know it's from that location. Okay, so and the reason I say this is some of the legacy add-ons, you'll see it's got a different icon there. Okay, alright, so that's what I just want to make a point to show you the difference between the two locations we've installed. So these ones here I've essentially installed from my disk. I didn't install them directly through the Get extensions option. Okay, so moving forward, that's another one of the ones I used. I also like F2. So if you go to Get extensions, F2, I installed that. I just clicked install. LoopTools, I installed that. Check add-ons, LoopTools 4.7. Always check the version, because I found from the legacy version, some of the versions that you download from the extensions website are sometimes later. So I'm now moving over to the extension website from the legacy. So that's just to make sure that I'm using the latest package. But I will roll back to legacy if I have issues with the ones on the extension website. Because I mean, that's always available to us anyway. So now the other one is Bool Tools. Now with Bool Tools, here's something to take note. See, the version here says 1.10. Okay, so this is the one from the extensions, the new extensions website. Okay, so if I go to add-ons, legacy one we installed was version 0.41. So that was the latest version in Blender 4.1. So here's my plan of attack to fix this issue. What I did was, if you go into Get extensions, type in Bool tool, let's go ahead and install that. Okay, so once installed, it'll move into the install slot. Also, if I search for Bool tools in here, which it has automatically, I've got two Bool tools. Okay, so we don't want two Bool tools. So what we'll do is we'll keep the latest one, which is from the extensions website, and remove this one. Okay, so I'm uninstalling this one with this icon, keeping that one. Okay, so uninstall. Okay, right. So now that that's done, I also use. Let's have a look at another one I use. Okay, that's also installed. So it's version 1.12 from the extensions website. Work in progress. Yep, that's okay. Alright, that's fine. Okay, so that's done. That's also installed. Extra mesh objects and extra curve objects is another one I use. Those two. So let's have a look at that one. That's version 1.7. Extra curve object on the add-on. This the legacy version. So the community extension, the legacy one is 1.5 and the other one is 1.7. So let me just try something else. 3.11, 3.12. So they're the two extra objects I'd have to delete. So let's test it with this. In fact, what I will do now is to actually go ahead and install both of them to see what the outcome is. So let's go and install that. Now that we got these both installed, let's go into mesh objects and see what sort of mess it makes. Yep, so as you can see, it has a double up here. So to get rid of the double up, what we need to do is we need to get rid of the two that we created. So we'll keep them once again doing the same thing, getting rid of the extra objects and keeping the one that was downloaded from the Get Extensions. Okay, so moving on to the next one. Okay, let's delete that one now. So once again, keeping the one we downloaded from the extensions and getting rid of the legacy. Okay, once we've done that, I know that I've got to restart Blender to make sure that all that it actually doesn't double up again. I need to restart Blender once that's happened as well. Okay, so essentially here's a bunch of ones I commonly use that I've now moved over to extensions over the legacy. So I'll be continually going to add and remove the legacy ones if these ones from the Get Extensions are working correctly. I'll be probably moving that way anyway. But it's I came across the 3DS one, which has two 3DS, two different versions. I want to make sure that I test both versions before I get rid of that. So that's an importer. So you can have the two different versions of importers and import 3DSs. So it's a case of just testing which one you prefer and things like that. So, but in the case of doubling up on the when I showed you when we did the curve objects and the mesh objects, it's the reason why that is doubling up is because I installed one through Get Extensions and one through the legacy. So that's what caused that anyway. So I hope you understand sort of what's involved there. Next we'll move on to fixing a broken add-on that I discovered along the way. So I'll show you that shortly. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to show you what happened in relation to a few of my plugins, in particular BlenderKit. After I updated from version 4 to version 4.2 using the import preferences and settings option, I ran into a few issues in relation to the BlenderKit not working. So what I'm going to do is show you how to remove the entire thing and then reinstall the package. Okay, so I'm doing this real time. So first time, also, so let's do it together. So we want to start back at Edit, and then go down to Preferences here. So once you go to Preferences, we've got the Add-on tab here. So you'll see all your add-ons. So click on Add-ons. In there, you want to type in Blender Kit, or if you've got a broken add-on and you know the name of it, go ahead and type it in now. And if you don't have any broken add-ons, great, good for you. So you can move into the next section, installing add-ons, and I'll go through the process of installing Blender Kit shortly. So let's go ahead and see if we can remove it first. Okay, that's the one there. So once we get that, what we can do is we can go ahead and as you can see, I've taken the tick off that here because it was causing problems. So ever since then, I haven't had any problems because I'm not using it. But let's go ahead and uninstall it. Click OK. Great. So now that that's uninstalled, let's go ahead, save preferences, close that, and then we'll restart Blender. We're going into File and Quit. Don't save. Okay, so now that let me just go ahead and just restart that now. Okay, now that we're back in Blender, what we want to do is we click on General, and then what we'll do is, as you can see, Blender Kit, if you know what it is, it's basically an asset library, online asset library that gives you lots of cool free stuff, and you can become a member as well if you got the finances for it. So let's if you just go up here on top of the screen, you will see there's nothing there at the moment, so I don't obviously have it installed. So let's go into Edit, Preferences, and before we do this, I suppose we should download it. So I'll show you where to download Blender Kit from if you don't already know. If you go to this website, blenderkit.com/get blenderkit / links in the description. Once again, click on the download button, download this icon, remembering where you downloaded to. Okay, so once you remember where you downloaded it to, let's go back into Blender and let's go ahead and try and reinstall the plugin. Okay, so in here what we want to do is go into preferences. Once you're in there, you go into add-on, and then you go, we're installing this remembering the old method. So if you go install from disk, so I put mine into a folder, Blender Kit. Okay, so once you find the add-on, click on it, highlight it, install from disk. Okay, so and then click Save Preferences, and then you can close that out. And now, as you can see, I have Blender Kit. So let me show you how this add-on works. For example, as you can see, it's bringing up the defaults. So let's do a car, for example. Okay, so these are all the cars that are available. As you can see, you got all kinds of different models from different authors which you can use. Some are free, some are paid. But let's look for a good car. This looks like a nice car. So let's go ahead and delete this. That's a very nice model. Let's put some color on it. And yeah, so you got your assets up here, which you can work with. And while that's cooking up, yeah, you've got textures, you've got other things that you can get from Blender Kit that are very useful, very useful utility. Just have a go at it, and yeah. So that's, for example, this is what I was talking about earlier. If I were to model this, it would take me some time. So it's very easy if I want to create a scene. Now that I've got Blender Kit as an add-on, to add this to my scene and create a scene fairly quickly. So anyhow, that's a brief rundown of Blender Kit. My purpose of this video was just to show you Blender 4.2 and give you a little bit of extra here to see, you know, what kind of things I use within Blender 4.2 that helps me with my work. Okay, thank you for watching, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed my tutorial to get us started. I'll be releasing more tutorials with add-ons, paid add-ons, and other things shortly. Okay, thank you.